All right. Hello, dear Taurus. That's you over here. This is Tarot Lumination. Thank you for being here. This is your July report 2019. Okay. Cards are already well shuffled in advance, but we're going to do a little bit of hanging out first before we get to the spread. So cards are already well shuffled. I'm going to do no jumpers, no flyers, no reversals, but we are going to have an oracle later on at the very end. Okay, so hang in, please. Hang in. Some of you probably know already. Watch your sun, moon, and rising. You can even cross-watch for a significant other. Singles, if you want, you can watch this, but you really have to allow for the laws of attraction in action. What are you attracting back to you, like the energy of what if? Next, we're in the eclipse moment, okay? It's for everybody. And this is your astrodoodle for you, Taurus. And it has a big red squiggle down the middle. But everyone else has a big red squiggle. Okay? So don't take it personally. I just want to go through a few basic dates. You can watch this slowly on the action replays if you want. I'm just focusing on the yellow stuff to do with the eclipses for now, okay? It's July 2019, Tarot Lumination Astrodoodle. July 2nd or so, we have the new moon eclipse, the sun conjunct the moon, okay? And it's kind of a stellium. There's energy around there too, and we have this the north node there. Okay. Also, later on in the month, around the 16th, we have the full moon eclipse, moon in Capricorn opposing all of this. Okay. It's challenging. There's a bunch of planets here. There's going to be the moon, Saturn, and Pluto all piled up here, opposing the Cancerian energy here, and that sits in your chart somewhere. Another big thing about the month, we have 5 planets retrograde for most of the month, okay? That's a lot of heavy duty replay, rewind, reassess, reevaluate, reconfigure, go over things, redo, remodel, rejoice. You could even rejoice. Let's just say you've figured out your life so well, you could actually rejoice, okay? So this is the astrodoodle for you, Taurus. So that's you on the horizon over here. This would be the energy of the 7th house, a significant other, like a contracted, chosen, deliberate one-on-one relationship, okay? And over here is the 5th house, so this would be more to do with the love and the romance, okay? So none of these are directly highlighted by planets at this moment. This is what's being highlighted. It's the eclipses over here, okay? Over here is the new moon eclipse in your 3rd house of communications. Like friends and just day-to-day activities. Just the day-to-day process, the day-to-day business of life. Okay, and so much is dependent on communication. Over here, the full moon eclipse. Okay, so the new moon is around July 2nd. It's an eclipse. I'll go to that in a moment. The full moon is around the 16th. So it might make more sense towards the middle and end of the month, what's actually happening with you. To me, my personal feeling for you, Taurus, is that the eclipses are all about you coming more and more and more aware of universal truth, universal laws, let's say wisdom, from a really high perspective, like being an eagle, like being in outer space and being able to look down in your world and your life and you see everything from a much bigger, wider lens, and you realize, whoa, it's a little bit different to what I thought. Because down here, more like on Earth, it's like, well, this is like the day-to-day stuff of getting, communicating through life. And so as right now, like new starts and new beginnings about realizing you're gonna have to reconfigure and, like, let's say upgrade, serious like evolutionary upgrades in the way you transmit and receive energy here on Earth. But you're going to figure out more and understand how to do that by actually tuning into the big stuff up here, like in the great beyond. So let's say you figure that out. Oh my gosh, like just imagine you looked out the International Space Station window and you looked down like, why didn't anybody tell me this? Now I have to really completely translate and transcribe and revise all my previous communications to the planet and this world. So that's not really directly on love and relationship, but it's so profoundly much to do with your day-to-day activities and how you communicate and transmit and receive energy in life. So let's just get on with it over here. I'm not going to focus on the moon here or the moon here. We're just going to cruise through. By the way, another thing, this Capricorn Cancer axis is very harmonious for you. In fact, I'm going to even put a line in there. Okay? So this is like a sextile over here, and this is a trine over here. This is very comfortable for you. This is sweet for you. So as challenging as eclipses can be, you might be one of the lucky ones who's actually cruising with it. Now, of course, the other thing, I forgot. If you're like an early stage Taurus, like if you're born really early in the Taurus season, Uranus is sitting right on top of you right now. Okay, so that's radical shifts, unpredictable changes. It's all about awakening, like, wake up, Taurus, wake up. Whatever we're going to do, we are doing because it's for you. We want you to wake up, evolve, and grow and adapt, even if we have to shake you, wake you up, shock you into awakening and growth, okay? Anyway, let's leave it at that. Gosh, I got quite carried away there. Sorry, Taurus. Okay, we're going to use the Tarot Lumination Crucible spread. It's on the understanding that there's you, Taurus, a significant other, and a separate entity called a relationship. It has a life of its own. But the thing is, you guys own that. This is not a couples reading. It's all about you, but we allow for your co-star. Okay, you'll see in just a moment. A crucible is a structure that's designed to withstand intense pressure of alchemical reactions, which is just the same as what happens in human relationships. Okay, so that's why I do this spread. I mean, there's a purpose that we made it here. Okay. Okay, this is good. So settle in, Taurus, get comfortable. Bless this deck, bless every single card, bless the channel, bless the electricity, the cameras, the lights, the technology, all of it. Bless the platform. Cheers, hold on. All right, here we go. So this is you. Just imagine yourself like a smartphone. You're continuously radiating energy, transmitting and receiving energy. What is that like for you? Especially in the context of love and relationship. And again, what about the other? What about deep down inside of you, deep inside of the other? And what about at the core itself over here? Think of the relationship. Can you see the crucible? This is the bowl. This is the bowl. This is the thing in which you guys conduct your relationship, whether you like it or know it or not. As you intimate and you separate, just like the ocean waves all day, every day. You own this thing. Think of it as a potted plant, if you want. And things are growing. Okay, whatever this might be. And you are surrounded by energy, just like a potted plant. You're sitting in a garden. This planet Earth is an amazing place. Think of it as a garden. It has very challenging energies. It has very nutritious energies. Either way, it's like a garden. It can be in a storm, in a lightning storm, in a flood, in a hurricane, or an earthquake, or a fire, or it can be in perfect conditions. So we have the High Priestess energy here. All right, my feeling is that there's so much going on for you, Taurus, right now that it's too much. It's overwhelming from the spiritual point of view. And so what's happening is you're getting some kind of divine intervention, which is about protecting you, okay? Like a beautiful, beautiful bubble of divine protection where whatever you need to know, you will know it when you need to know it. Nothing more, nothing less. So it's like heaven and the angels will be very, very kind to you. Okay? Because there is so much. Like if you were exposed to everything that you needed to know, what you need to know, how you need to know it, when you need to know it, right now, you would just explode. You would turn into a nebula or one of those amazing things in outer space. And then what would you be doing here on Earth? Nothing, of course. So my feeling here is like you're fine. There's a lot of things going on that you don't understand, that you could not possibly understand, and there isn't even any point in trying to understand it right now. Whatever needs to be revealed will be revealed to you, like in the moment. And we're just talking about the July season here and the eclipses, and then we'll see what happens then. Okay, what are you radiating? Okay, so this is a little bit tragic, okay, with the Three of Swords here. Remember, all of this is in the mind. It's not a Cups cards, okay? To me, I see this as a red alert. like you're living your journey. All right, there you are, Taurus. Please don't be scared of this. Hopefully, maybe you can see this as a blessing. Okay, like let's just say, like earlier, I don't know if I mentioned it, but please surround yourself with your invisible friends. Okay, your guardian angels, your archangels, your all of them, your loved ones from the great beyond, who only care about your welfare, your happiness in this world, in your lifetime right now. And there are times when you need to know what you need to know. And if you just imagine you're living your life, you think of your life as a journey. Let's say you're in a minivan and it's full up with all the stuff of your life, and you're going here, you're going there. There's people having a terrible time over there. There's car crashes over here. There's lovely weather over here, bad weather over there, regrets and pain and sorrow behind you, joys and wonderful memories behind you. But you are living, you're zooming along in the minivan of life, and you're realizing, uh-oh, the red engine lights are flashing. Beep, 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 beep. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Oh, no. Relationship issues, relationship dynamics. Oh, I better look that up in my owner's manual. And you go to the owner's manual, you pull over to the side of the road, and you look like, ouch, we have a problem. Oh, dear. It's not the end of the world, okay? Just needs to be, you need to pay attention. Like if the red engine light is flashing, you need to pay attention. Okay, maybe it's just a faulty computer system, but it might be that there are stuff that needs attention. Maybe you are hurting. Maybe you are in a state of sorrow. Maybe you are in a conflicted situation where, some people think of this as the energy of triangulation. Like there's a three-party relationship. Some people that's fine. Some people it's very difficult. Okay? Human beings tend to be very binary in their relationship. It's like you and the other, male, female, black and white, off, on, yes, no. Are you in? Are you out? Are you mine? Am I yours? If not, move on. But sometimes, in fact, it's actually very, very common that triangulation occurs. Sometimes triangulation occurs from a very beautiful spiritual perspective, and it's for your benefit. It can put you under an incredibly intense pressure to figure out, who are you really? What am I really in the context of love and relationship? Okay? And you wouldn't know unless like these opposing or challenging scenarios were presented in front of you. Like let's just say there's you. Okay, I'll try to do it like this. Let's say that there's you, Taurus, and there's a significant other over here, but there's also a significant other over here. That can be very, very difficult. Okay? Some people can't take it at all. They think, like, you're cheating. Somebody's cheating. Somebody's messing around, whatever it is. It's like, you looked at someone else. I know you're cheating. That's like extreme paranoia. But just a question of degree. All I'm suggesting is here, this is here for a reason. And sometimes when this happens, it means that we need to pay attention to this. In other words, like, what does it mean? What is the difference between this situation and that situation? And you're in the middle, okay? What is the good stuff about this? What's the bad stuff about this? What's the good stuff about this one and the bad stuff about this one? And then you're put in this very awkward situation of like, what now? What now? What now? Okay, let's look at the other. Okay, so with the chariot over here, my feeling with you're dealing with a significant other who is actually in some ways either not affected or not disturbed or not even slightly concerned about this issue, because they are minding their own business, focusing very much on getting their act together, getting their life together in a full determination to succeed, prosper, uh, come into their full being almost in ways that have never happened before, on the understanding that there's a lot of pressure. Remember, they're dealing with their eclipses too, some way, shape, or form or other. And it means that they have to harness all the energy of their power, their superpowers, and all the wonders of themselves. And at the same time, they have to wrestle with all the challenges that they carry, all the fear, the shadows, the pain, the suffering from the past, the fear of the future, the fear of the unknown. And they have to find a way to rein in all that energy and make it work so that they can survive and live in the here and now at the most optimal levels possible. Okay? And from their perspective, whatever's going on with you, if you're having a problem like this, that's your problem. Okay? It's not their problem. They're just being themselves. You're just being you. This is not a couple's reading. It's all about you. All right? Let's look deep inside of you. Okay. Cataclysmic, irreversible changes. No question about it. Let me go to something I didn't even mention earlier. Okay, you're going to feel it maybe really late at the end of the month. Okay, the sun is going to enter Leo. Mercury is going to be around retrograde, in that area too. Okay, so this affects the foundations of your life, your home. Okay, and the eclipses can have like a long-term trajectory, like a really big shock wave. It isn't just like a moment in time. It goes like boom, 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 over time. So this might have like a ongoing effect into the August Leo season, where we're touching on the fourth house. Okay, the foundations of your life and your world. Home, family, safety, security, stability. And I think that this Tower card relates to this at the very core, where deep inside of you, you feel the rumblings of like, oh my God, there are like tectonic plates shifting and shaking in the very core, the very foundation of my life. Whoa, whoa. Like, those earthquake sensors? You might not be having the earthquake right now, but my feeling is that the sensors are detecting this kind of earthquake type energy. Like, some earthquakes feel like this. I don't know if you guys have been in earthquakes before, but I have several times, and sometimes they feel like this. Like, okay, there you are, you're living your life, and then all of a sudden, like, and then it stops. It's extremely disturbing. It's a very disturbing feeling to have your whole life, your whole world shift underneath you in a very, very slow, kind of profound way. It almost makes you feel like you're going to throw up, like being seasick. There's another type of earthquake which comes in, it kind of goes like this. Either way, whichever kind it is, and everything else in between, they can be very disturbing. So I think what's happening is you're starting to get those seismic waves vibing and feeling deep inside of your soul. And remember, the beautiful thing about the tower is that it's like nature doing what it does. It's just obliterating anything in its path that is in its path. Okay, I think of this as the Pluto-Saturn combination right now, and you can't blame it. It's just doing what it does. You can't look at a volcano or a massive forest fire or a hurricane or a tornado and say, excuse me, I'm on my lunch break. Would you mind? You just can't do that. It's just going to do what it does. And my feeling is that your sensors, your radar, I mean, have you ever thought, look at it this way, Taurus. For some people, these were probably the two most scary cards in the deck, okay? And you've got them sitting right next to each other. Oh no, oh no, oh no. But when you look at it from the broad perspective, from the really, really broad perspective, pretend you're in outer space and you've got your own personal private space probe. This is stuff that you need to know. Okay, this is need to know stuff. Get it? This is coming to you on a need to know basis. You need to know about this. You need to know about yourself, your love, your life, your relationships, your world, your home, your family, the foundations of your life and your world. And it's coming to you from the great beyond. You can thank the eclipses, all right? Instead of cursing the eclipses. Deep down inside of them, I don't know what's happening with the other party, but as far as they're concerned, it looks like this is good news. They're getting their act together because they are absolutely determined to make the best, have the best in their life in the way that's measurable. I think that this is evidence of love. Ten of Pentacles here is a very beautiful, rich, powerful card in a love reading. I'm trying to go a little bit above and beyond love and relationship readings here, as you can tell. But in a love reading, to me, this is really powerful. It's really strong energy. Deep down, this is all they want. They want the best. They deserve the best. They feel it, and that's what they're going for. It's almost like they are preparing themselves like an astronaut to go into an amazing journey where there is only one objective, and it's extremely hard to do. If you've ever watched any of those nature shows or astronaut shows, you would understand how incredibly mind-bogglingly difficult it is to take off from Earth, start a life, head off into a new life and a new beginning, and land in this bountiful place, okay? I think you're very, very lucky, Taurus, to have this person here with you, whoever they are, because it almost looks like they're getting their act together for the benefit of you, themselves, and the relationship itself, to bring some kind of stability, structure, money, worldliness, anything of you could call valuable into love and relationship. It's almost like that is their goal and their mission. Okay, let's have a look at the core here. What's happening? Great. This is a very extreme reading, Taurus. So the relationship, my feeling of what's happening here is that it's all about you, your own personal happiness, but they also understand that they have a right to their own personal happiness too. So they're coming at the relationship. To me, it looks like they're taking full advantage of the relationship to create their own experience of happiness. Like it couldn't possibly be better for them. Okay? It's like their wish. This is happiness. This is happiness as far as they're concerned. Now, it might be scary and frightening and terrifying and like um, challenging for you, but I believe that they have your best outcomes at heart here. And there's a part of it is like part of you is that you wished for this, you wanted this to happen. It might be disruptive, it might be cataclysmic, it might cause some deep rumblings and shakeups in the foundations of your life, love, world, relationships, home, family, whatever it is. That is not their concern. They're just being who they are, living their life with the best of intentions. And they're not going to because they're they're under this umbrella of energy over here too, okay? So they're not going to bring on anything more than you can handle. What will happen is what will happen, and you will only be brought to you that which you can handle. So in other words, if you need to be shaken up and woken up about what's happening in you and your life in your world, then that's what will happen. No more and no less on a need to know basis. And the ultimate thing about it is that the relationship is very concerned. If you think of this thing that is that you guys own this, you and the other, you own this thing. And it's about bringing yourselves and as individuals into happiness. And that could, in a way that could only happen between yourself and the significant other. Okay? So that you can be happy independently from the inside out, no matter what. And they can be happy themselves from the inside out, no matter what. And the only way you can figure that out is in the context of this relationship. So, how absurd and weird and beautiful and wonderful and challenging is that? Okay, with the strength card here, to me it feels like it's putting you under a lot of pressure because there's like this part of you which has your preconceptions about how life in the world and everything should be, including your love life and relationships, home, family, and everything, and all of that. Thank you very much. And yet, the relationship is very, very, very sternly, profoundly, irrevocably guiding you to do this and live your life from the more spiritual perspective, which might be very contradictory to the way that you're living your life at this very moment, which is why the red alerts are going off and why the tower experience might be getting felt at the very core foundations of your life. But don't worry, all of this is for the good. It's all about what's good for Taurus, okay? Let me do the thing about the eclipses. I forgot to do it earlier, so this is a good moment. Okay, so let's deal with the eclipses, all right? I'm not going to repeat the stuff we talked about earlier with the Cancer Capricorn axis, okay, on your third and ninth house. We're just going to think of the analogy of the eclipses, okay? It's irreversible. It's happening to everybody, and this is just your story, okay? So there you are. There's Taurus, okay, living your life. And the eclipse season arrives. It's here, and it's like walking into an elevator because there's nowhere else to go. You know how they move cattle into a cattle truck? It's the same kind of thing. Not that you're cattle, even though you are the sign of the bull. Oh my God, I'm getting myself into really deep trouble here. Deep water. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, Taurus. Okay, you're living your life. You're getting moved into this like elevator thing. The door opens and you go inside. Okay, nowhere else to go. I'll just go in here. And then it goes up to here, and the door opens, but it's the door on the other side because it's double-sided elevator. And you think, okay, well, there's nowhere else to go. I have to go out here. Okay, you see what we're talking about? In through the indoor, out through the outdoor. It's an evolutionary gateway. There's no going back. And that's what's happening here. Okay, let's go to the stage again. So I think that eclipse thing relates to also some of this over here. It's like this, like irreversible, profound, like demolition of life before, and then life before. Then you go through the eclipse, and then there's life after. Okay, remember, this is just a moment in time. It takes a few weeks. The eclipse itself will propagate for months. But right now, this is full on, head on in your face, okay? So don't be scared of this. This is need to know information. This is stuff you need to know. This is stuff you need to acknowledge and understand and accept and understand it's coming from love, okay? There's nothing but love here, okay? Absolutely nothing but love here on a need to know basis. You're being very gently guided and protected through your own evolutionary gateway, okay? And sometimes these things can only happen in the context of a loving relationship where you intimate, separate, intimate, and separate. Okay, now let's do your oracle. Okay, here we go. It comes from the Romance Angels deck. I know. Don't sing anything. The deck was already pre-shuffled well in advance, okay? Well shuffled in advance, let's put it that way. And I'm just going to pick a card, and it's going to be your card. You just have to trust the process, okay? You wouldn't be here otherwise anyway, so I don't even have to say that, do I? Okay, so here is your card. So whatever it is, just treat it as a gift, okay? It says, forgiving and learning, okay? As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. That's a beautiful, beautiful message. Okay, hear these angels here of love and healing. Okay, they are right around you. They are surrounding you. Okay, it's almost like this energy here. It's almost like the high priest is saying, don't worry, dear loved one. We want you to be happy. We just want you to love and be loved. And there's only so much that you can handle right now. Forgiveness and learning is part of the journey. Don't worry. Don't you worry, dear Taurus. Let's have a look. I'm just going to read from the book, all right? And then you can reinterpret however you want. It says here, the romance angels have heard your desire for great love, and they bring you this card as guidance. They see that your heart can give and receive the bliss of romance by clearing away the cobwebs of the past. The angels know that you have been hurt before and that you are wary of being hurt again. I'd like to amplify that. The angels know that you've been devastated before and that you are terrified of being devastated again. Okay? Therefore, yet your defenses are creating barriers to allowing love into your life. Well, it's totally understandable. If you've endured tremendous pain and suffering, you would naturally just shut the door to the pain and suffering. If the doorway was it was the world of love and romance and relationship, then you close that off. It's understandable. I get it. Okay? So it says here, as you heal your past, you won't keep recreating it. Okay? After all, you attract into your life the situations and relationships that remind you of what you've already experienced, because that is a primary tool of healing. Okay? So, to change to a healthier relationship pattern, it is necessary to detoxify any old anger, blame, or unforgiveness that you may be holding. This includes forgiving yourself. It might include forgiving a loved one. It might be including forgiving the one who's right next to you, okay? Or someone from the past, whatever it is, okay? And then, of course, forgive yourself, okay? Forgiveness does not mean you are condoning their behavior or their actions. You're just forgiving them. Get it? They're still accountable. They might not ever be able to think. See, the thing about forgiveness, you might not ever be able to repair what was damaged or what caused such severe pain, but you can forgive because then you are not beholden or owned by the pain and the suffering in the past anymore. Okay, it says here. So if you call upon the angels and ask them to help you release and heal your past, they will clear away the heaviness so that your heart can soar with happiness. Again, take full advantage of this, okay, dear Taurus, on a need to know basis. As you work through all this very, very painful stuff here, see that as a pathway to your own growth and healing and happiness. And understand that, yes, it is a struggle between your three-dimensional self and your more spiritual, multi-dimensional being from a much higher perspective. You can do this. You can handle this, all right? We got you here, Taurus. Don't you worry, all right? See you again in August, okay? I hope I didn't scare you away. You're going to be fine. You're doing just fine. Remember, it's all happening on a need-to-know basis. You will not be presented with any more than you can handle, okay? But you have to handle that which is presented to you, okay? All the best, lovely Taurus. Thank you so much. I'm just going to check out and say goodbye. Thank you, Taurus. You're going to be fine. Don't be scared, okay? You are loving, you are loved. You're in the right time at the right place with the right people, okay? It's all happening for your good. Bye-bye. So there you go. Take care, Taurus. All the best.